boy. Just be yourself. If people don't like it if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Big Los,
Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of The Noize on iHeartRadio. Wherever you're listening, go ahead and subscribe to that.
Just to that.
Because at this point, naming everything is kind of useless.
I figure eventually you'll be like, man, fuck all that.
I mean, but it's too many things to subscribe to. So it's like...
Just subscribe to all of it.
Exactly. If you're on iTunes, follow that. If you're on iHeart, follow that.
Right. Whatever you listen, make sure that shit is clicked.
Make sure that shit's a part of you.
Yeah.
Basically. Also, you can follow us at The Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, of course, you already know all the beat handles. I will repeat it at the end of the show, per the usual. Kev. What's up, bro?
Oh, that's what's up.
Yes. I hear your bones cracking from over here.
Yeah. No, nothing up, man. Shit. It's been a chill week for me, actually.
It's been a very chill introduction into 2018.
Yeah. I appreciate
Which is
that.
scary.
A little bit.
It's scary.
A little bit. Other than that, though, man, another day, another dollar.
Yes, sir. So, another heavily taxed dollar.
Yeah, heavily taxed, especially with your president in office, taxing everything.
That's your boy. You was up there putting in the polls. I saw you. I seen you.
Nope.
All right, call it what you want.
Nope.
My week has been cool. My week has consisted of work, and then it consisted of no work because I had the case of the deaths for literally 3 weeks.
What was wrong? Did you?
I had the case of the death.
Well, I know that. I'm assuming you got everything taken care of. Like,
everything's straight now. I can only, and I'm gonna be real with you. When I went to the doctor, I didn't say let's do this test, let's do that test. I'm like, hey, bro, just let me get a inhaler. I'm gonna go see my primary. I just need some shit right now so I can breathe. I just kept it trill with him because I didn't want to sit up there anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you how this pissed me off so bad. So with my insurance, I tried to go to some of the urgent cares and some of the quick cares that I could just be in and out.
Right.
Because you already know how it is at that Southwest on Charleston.
Yeah, you're gonna be sitting there.
You there? That's your day. So I tried going there that morning before going to work, and the fucking sign already said hour and a half wait. So go ahead, get planted and relax. I'm like, okay. So they come in, they call my name. I go to the back, go through the triage or whatever, and the lady turns around and says, okay, it's going to be another 2 to 3 hour wait. I said, don't just say that like it's some normal shit. Like, don't you be like, it's going to be another 2 to 3 hours. Like, I should throw this goddamn thermometer at you.
2 to 3 hours for who?
Exactly.
I don't work here.
And I
don't work here.
I was like, look, I got to be at work in an hour. This ain't going to work. So I'm all like, all right, so I already blew 2 hours at the fucking ER and had to go to work. Work was insanely chill. But I was also sick. So I was like, yo, I'm out. So I bounced.
Yeah.
I come back, regroup. Now I'm over here searching for urgent cares. So I go to the urgent care on Rancho. They're like, we don't take your insurance. And I'm like, I got this insurance through this $1 billion company.
Right. What you mean?
What you mean? I got some of the best insurance.
Right.
When it's time for me to go,
You probably got this insurance.
Exactly. When it's time for me to go, I need y'all niggas to take care of me because the government got me. And it's rare when the government got a black man.
Right.
But they got me today. So they're like, no, we don't take it here. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we find a Southwest because I noticed that, on the card it has the little Southwest logo on it. I'm like, cool, I'm going to go to a Southwest urgent care instead of going to the ER.
Right.
I get to the urgent care. I go in there. I say, yo, I just want to speak to a doctor about getting an inhaler so I can, get my breathing shit straight until I go see my primary and find out exactly what happened or what's happening. Because I feel fine now. Tomorrow may be a different thing.
Tomorrow may wake up wheezing.
Exactly. Wake up on some different shit.
Okay.
So they tell me, oh, we don't take this here either. I wanted to be like, the logo's on the card.
Y'all gonna take something.
How do you not take your shit?
That's crazy.
Can you imagine walking into the studio right now, ready to call, hey, bro, you actually ain't on the show. What you call me for? What the fuck I mean? I burnt all this gas coming across town. And you telling me I ain't on my shit? That's my face on the logo. You feel me? So that's how I felt. That's really how I felt. So then she gives me a list. She said, here's all the places that take your insurance. So I'm so out of it. I'm so tired because this is hospital number 2. I'm so out of it that I'm like, this is the only one that's 24 hours. These other joints are about to close in like 30 minutes. So I'm like, cool, we'll go to this one. I put in the address in the GPS and we go. And as where we were coming from, I'm like, it's slowly transitioning into the hood. So I'm like, damn, this is about to be a long day. But then we start transitioning back into the not as hood. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I was like, shit, I know where the fuck we're going. And guess where we were going?
Where?
Southwest on motherfucking Charleston. I get there. Mind you, I got off of work early. So a lot of the nurses and shit were already, they were still there.
They were still there.
Oh, exactly. Welcome back. Fuck you. That's what I wanted to say. But I was like,
yeah, bitch.
Yeah, welcome. So I finally get to the doctor, black doctor, way shorter than me.
Wow.
Which isn't necessarily relevant to the story, but I was really astounded by how short this dude was. Really? And he came in like, he looks like one of them doctors that, be smashing hella nurses on the low. But he know
the doctor with the juice.
He definitely got the sauce.
Gotcha.
He definitely got the sauce. So he comes in. He's like, so what did you need? I was like, I just need a prescription for an inhaler because this breathing shit ain't been working lately. And, I guess to do some doctor shit, he takes out his stethoscope.
I got you. I know what you're talking about.
That was a hard word just now. He takes out the stethoscope and he, does the chest and the back, whatever. And then he leaves the room. This man is gone for an hour.
I'm sorry, what?
He's gone for an hour. So I finally go out and say, yo, first of all, can we get some water? Secondly, where's the doc at? I just want to get my script so I could be out. And she's like, oh, yeah, we'll go find him or whatever. So then she comes back to the water and she said, oh, the nurse is on the way with your prescription. I'm like, is that what we've been waiting on this entire time?
I hate that.
It's just the script?
I hate that. That's happened to me before. Waiting on the script and you be gone. You like, yo.
Any of y'all could have did this.
Right.
Any of y'all. Just for this funky ass piece of paper. Y'all could have gave me the code. Now I'd have been like, let's go to Walgreens and get this thing printed. You feel me? So I would say long story short, but that was a long fucking story. I got my stuff, so I'm feeling a lot better.
A little bit normal.
Breathing better. I still got a little bit of the mucus congestion and all this other stuff, but that'll pass. And I'm good now, man. I had a fantastic nap because of it. I was like, is this air? Is this oxygen? What is this? What is this? What is this foreign element? Yeah. This ain't fire. I've been breathing fire for the last week. What is this new
Lord
element?
The Rings dragon for the last week.
And bro, I was really looking back on it. I'm like, dude, I've been sick since that episode you missed. And then I was sick on the New Year's episode. And then I just really got past it. Now I could hear it in the comments right now. So Los has AIDS. Let's go ahead. Let's get that running.
Yeah, he got the easy. He got that. He definitely got it. Now, it's definitely something that's been going around because I've been noticing it's been sickly shit transpiring. I don't want no parts of it personally. Right. Yeah, I'm leave that shit alone.
You know what's so wild about it? Black people, we naturally go to a nerve-wracking place because it's flu season.
Yeah.
So in my head, I got the flu. I'm about to die because I've done nothing about it. NyQuil can't beat the flu. I need Osmosis Jones, but he ain't available. So,
yo, I love that.
Yeah, that was a solid movie, bro.
The soundtrack was solid.
It's not even on Netflix. I haven't seen that movie.
You're right. I haven't seen it either.
You got to physically go find the movie if you really want to watch it.
That's crazy.
But then I ended up forgetting. I'm like, wait, I got a flu shot through my job. I'm straight. At least I should be straight.
Well, that's probably why you were feeling bad, though.
I got a flu shot a while ago, though.
So, yeah. So? It don't matter. I've known people to get a flu shot, seem like they good, and all of a sudden, flu.
And then dead.
Yeah, I don't get them flu shots.
I wasn't looking forward to that second part.
Keep all that shit.
Random rambling. Before we actually get into the show, we had some shout-outs. We wanted to big up a few people. Before getting into it. And so I'll go ahead and let you go first because you have more people to shout out. I don't like as many people as you do.
I want to get the accurate shit. So go ahead.
Just unprepared is what it sounds like.
A little bit.
First of all, I want to shout out the beautiful and talented DeWanda Wise. Now, if you're not familiar with the name, that is the lead actor of She's Gotta Have It. Actress, I'm sorry, respect. Yeah. She played Nola Darling, killed the role. Again, gorgeous. She is just stunning. You know what I mean? I had a black moment when I saw the article say DeWanda Wise to star in Captain Marvel movie, and that's what I'm bigging up DeWanda Wise for. She's going to be one of the people in the Black Panther in the Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah.
When I saw Star, I was like, oh shit, DeWanda Wise is playing Captain Marvel. She is the Captain Marvel. Let's get this shit going. Nah, she's in a supporting role.
Yeah.
So I may have jumped the gun a little bit on the Noize social media page. But I mean,
still, either way, that's big.
That's huge.
If you get locked in with Marvel, you set.
You're good. All you got to do is ride that train. Now, if she dies, she ain't going to be on that train too long.
True.
Because, when Mac was telling us how he was in the Marvel movie, I'm like, hell yeah. And you see it, I'm like, all right, so he won't be a cop in that again. He's no longer a New York City police officer. Yeah. Hey, but they better put a memorial to my man.
Right, he better have.
You know
one
what I'm saying? He better have a plaque or something up there. Hey, and big up. There's another big up. Big up to Mac Wells because he just did Pitch Perfect 3.
Yeah, I saw it last night.
We'll get to that.
It was. I didn't go to see that. It was showing with Jumanji, which is dope, by the way. But it was showing.
Whoa, really?
Jumanji is hard.
Is it?
It's some of the best acting The Rock has ever done.
And you are a harsh critic of The Rock.
Some of the.
I mean, I agree that he can't act.
It's some of the best acting he's ever done. The movie was dope. They paid homage to Robin Will. And the best part of, well, I don't want to say the best part, but what I liked about it was they didn't leave this shit open for another one.
Oh, cool.
They broke the fucking game. They said, "No, fuck all that." They broke the game.
This shit's done.
It's done. But no, that's a great movie. But no, I saw Pitch Perfect 3. Mac was in it doing his thing.
And yeah, that's something that a lot of people who only know Mac and don't know Mike, that probably was their first experience with him actually singing. Mm-hmm. I've known Mac as a singer all the way up to when we graduated. And that man is probably one of the best vocalists I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So to see him in that role, I haven't seen it, but he, of course, black people, we illegally recorded on at movies and put it on Facebook. So I saw it through that. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
He went from a stand-in character, he did some TV stuff, but now I'm like, you have a spotlight role in this. And you're not only showing your acting chops, now you're showing the world, oh yeah, I sing too.
Right, I do this shit.
He's only a half a step away from being in one of these random BET singers movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And the man can act, the man can sing. So big up to Mac Wells. But going back to DeWanda Wise, it's such a great look because she's had movies before that no one heard of. Mm-hmm. My first and only experience with her is through She's Gotta Have It.
Yeah, mine too.
So the fact that she went from that and then getting picked up for the season 2 and then getting picked up in a Marvel movie, she's about to have an amazing 2018.
Yeah, she's about to kill shit 2018. That's, as black people,
and
that's
she's fine.
As black people, that's what we need to be doing. 2018 needs to be the year that we take all of that positive black stuff from 2017 and bring it right over to 2018.
We got to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
Yo, we are really getting to a place where white people are fearing the power of minorities in entertainment. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like now they're reaching out. This ain't a dig at white people. This is just, y'all know how the industry is. I mean, what's his name? John Wayne played Genghis Khan. You know what I mean? So they're getting to the point now. It's like, you know what? We want to make sure we're historically and culturally accurate with a bunch of this stuff. And we want to make sure that certain stuff isn't whitewashed, which is why I think Marvel just handed over everything to the director.
Oh, for Black Panther?
Yeah, for Black Panther.
Yeah.
So I love the place that we're in now, and I really look forward to seeing what we're going to get out of 2018 as black entertainers and as black creatives.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly with that. I just hope nobody does nothing stupid to fuck this train up.
It's going to happen.
I hope not.
You see Chief Keef just got caught with like 8 different drugs. I didn't know it was 8 different drugs out there. And he got caught with all 8 in his system.
Everything.
All of them.
I'm on everything.
Like just hang up the dartboard. You land on it, trust me, I'm on it. So trust me, something's going to happen.
Yeah, I hope
Unfortunately.
not. I hope not. And if it does happen, I hope it's so minute that it don't mess up nothing.
Right.
Because the minute they be like, oh, you niggas think shit sweet, huh? Fuck that. Black Panther's canceled. Cancel all that
time
shit.
to cast Keanu Reeves a Static Shock, and we go move from there.
I would be livid. I would be livid, bruh. I protest.
Oh, hell yeah.
I protest.
Bruh, can you imagine Keanu Reeves in dreadlocks?
I'd protest, bruh.
It's Static Shock.
What's his name? Virgil? Virgil Hawkins?
Virgil Hawkins. Yeah.
Virgil.
He said, my name's Virgil. I'm woke. Look at my dreads.
He said, I'm woke. That's wild.
Yo, Virgil was hella woke on that show.
He was.
You really got to recognize the greatness.
Actually, a lot of those shows that came out in the 90s were ahead of their time, dude.
Definitely.
A lot of them were ahead of their time. Hell, I was watching Smart Guy the other day, and I was sitting there thinking, like, we had a single black father raising 3 kids, and one of them is a genius. Oh, that's lit.
Oh, yeah,
That's lit. I want to get a shout out to, I'm about to butcher this woman's name. I'm sorry.
All right, they're going to jump on you.
Is it Nakuya Walker? Nikuyah.
Your guess, which I assume that was, is as good as mine.
But I'm shouting her out because she was elected as the city of Charlottesville.
Yeah.
First black female mayor.
Yeah, big up.
I thought that was dope. Especially we know how Charlottesville get down.
Oh yeah, we've seen how they get down in 2017.
A black mayor that's a woman, that's dope to me. So I wanted to give her a shout out for that.
You think it's going to be another Target store protest because of it?
I hope not. It was a Target store protest?
Well, if you look at all the stuff they had, the tiki torches and the Wrangler khakis.
I think maybe if she was governor, then maybe so. Mayor, I mean, the mayor, they do have an important position, but for the most part, people forget you got a fucking mayor. So I don't think
not in no small towns like
maybe
that.
not in the small towns. Maybe not in small towns. I mean, Vegas, we'd forget we got a fucking mayor.
Right. Like, trust me, Xenia, they knew who the fuck their mayor was. We didn't know, but,
but they knew.
They knew,
right?
And
so
they shouted him out every chance they got.
Maybe you're right though. In the small town, maybe you're right. But no, I don't see them doing no protests. I don't see that happening.
Wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't put it past them. Charlottesville, but
Exactly.
I don't think they're gonna do that. Another shout out I want to want to get out there is to I'm about to butcher her name too. If these black people get some regular fucking names like Jerry or Dan, like Shakayla, that's not bad. Shakayla Hill, giving a shout out to her because she goes to Grambling. Mm-hmm. She got a triple double.
No, wasn't that
not
quadruple double?
Quadruple
right,
double.
Right,
My bad. Quadruple double.
I mean, do you see a Diane getting a quadruple double? A Katie getting a quadruple double? Exactly. It got to be Shakayla.
Maybe. Either way, she had 15 points.
I mean, shit, LeBron.
You got a point there.
Kyrie.
You got a point there. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals. Now, it's hard to get a triple-double.
That's a hustle.
Yeah, it's hard to get a triple-double.
It's hard to get a double-double for some of these cats out here.
But when you can do that with steals, that's hard.
Oh, yeah, you'll go.
That's hard. So she did that. I want to give a shout out to her. She's, I think, she's the only black person to do it since like the 90s.
Wow.
Like it's been a minute. It's only been 4 women.
Collegiate-wise? Okay.
Yeah, D1.
Wow.
It's only been 4 women to ever do it, period. So I was like, oh, that definitely deserves some praise.
Super attention, yo. Shout out to all of y'all, man. There's a lot of black excellence going into this year, and I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
Oh, I just really thought about it. Last goon we saw with a regular ass name was Michael.
Michael who? Are you talking about just in general?
In basketball.
Oh yeah.
I think he's like
that
the
had a
last
regular
one.
name, yeah.
And Allen. But, but Kobe.
Kobe, I was about to get you like Kobe. Man,
Not
you
so
think
much.
after beef?
I've only known 2 Kobes, the food and the legend. That's the only 2 we get out of Kobe.
Both are great, by the way.
Both are amazing and legendary in their own right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to also have another conversation before we got into the show. So I was watching this, and you're going to call me weird because this is about to be the most left field shit to watch on Netflix. But I was watching a show on Netflix called Comedians in a Car Going to Have Coffee. I could be butchering the last part of the name, but that's what it's called. Hosted by Jerry Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. Now,
I seen the little banner. I never clicked on it, but I seen the little thing.
And the only reason I clicked on it is because you know how Netflix be when they really want you to check something out, it's the first thing up there and they automatically start playing the trailer. Mm-hmm. So I saw Kevin Hart was on there. I saw Steve Harvey was on there. Like there's a bunch of heavy hitters. And then of course there's a bunch of heavy hitter white comedians as well. Mm-hmm. Michael Richard is on there as well. That's the guy that played Kramer. I don't know if we forgave him yet. So, you know, he kind of jumped out the window with that one. But other than that, I was watching it and we are so immersed in the tech era that I was able to appreciate organic conversation. Mm-hmm. Like there was nothing spectacular about what was going on. It was some nice ass cars.
Oh, well,
it was nice ass cars, and then the producer and me appreciated the shots that they had of the coffee. Uh-huh. The way they were shooting the coffee, I'm like, I kind of want some coffee.
I don't even drink coffee, but that looks good.
Like that, I want that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I may be let down when I actually get it, but I kind of want that. So I was watching the show and then just hearing the conversation with Chris Rock. You know, he talked to Chris Rock. He talked to
this is Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay.
And I remember it was supposed to be just one collection because, when they don't do seasons, they just call it collections.
Yeah, call it collections.
But, of course, he's been on for 4 collections now. So it's basically seasons at this point. But yeah, I was just watching it and just hearing Chris Rock's story and just the interactions between him and Jerry, Jim Carrey, what's my man's name? Stephen Colbert was on it. Steve Harvey was on it. Like, he had some hitters on this show. And all they do, they ride around in nice-ass cars, go to a coffee shop. Fucking Obama was on it.
Damn.
He had Obama on the show.
Damn.
And again, hearing such just organic, candid conversations, you know what I'm saying, not through Twitter and all this other stuff, it really makes me appreciate doing what we do here.
Yeah.
Because having this podcast gives us the opportunity, because we talk all the time, but it gives us the opportunity to have a real in-depth conversation and the ear hustlers just listen in. Like, people always ask, like, what makes you want to do a podcast? Like, it's the easiest thing to do. It's really a conversation. Yeah. But then when you look at it, where we are today, people aren't used to just having a face-to-face conversation. Hell, even a telephone conversation.
Yeah, you're right about that, because I hate talking on the phone.
I can't fucking stand it.
Call me, period. So text me, send me a pigeon. Do not fucking call me.
See, now, in that aspect, I'm definitely a millennial for sure, because I will text you.
I think that comes from my background. No, I don't call me because of working at call centers. Don't fucking call me.
Yeah, now I give you that too. Working at Capital One,
that's what did it. Because it's like, bro, I'm on the phone talking to somebody 8 hours a day, and you want to call me 30 minutes after my shift? You don't go eat a dick and get the hell off my phone.
Working up there really made you have a short fuse for excuses. Yeah. Like, so when motherfuckers started saying stuff, you like, dude, I know you lying. You're not a caller, so I could punch you in the mouth. I can. I know the only thing you lying about is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I could really punch you in the mouth.
When did you start transitioning from that? Because when I was working at Capital One, I had that same sentiment. Even shortly after I stopped working there, I had that same sentiment. But after a while, I was like, I started indulging a little bit more in excuses. When did you start to indulge a little bit more in those excuses?
I still don't, because I moved on from that to hospitality.
Yeah.
So now you got
still
people
in that mode. Like, I don't want to hear this shit.
You got people taking shits in bathtubs and saying that it was there beforehand. No, that's a legit story. Wait. That's a legit story, fam.
And they tried to say that it was there when they got there?
All right, so story time with Los. This guy comes down, him and his wife, drunk. When I tell you drunk, you see the fumes of the alcohol coming off of them. You know what I'm saying? Eyes bloodshot, and they were whites. You know, they turn pink when they get drunk. So he walks up and he bypasses the entire line. He's fuming. I'm like, can I help you, sir? He's like, I'm just going to show you. And he turns his camera around, and it's this one log of shit in the middle of the bathtub. So in my head, I was like, no, who took a shit and just bounced?
Who left it there?
Who just left it there? Just one Mr. Hanky just in the middle of the bathtub. But then I surveyed the shit. I examined the shit, and I noticed that the entire bathtub was clean. I mean, it wasn't even a dirt ring in that motherfucker. The entire bathtub was clean. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. The cleaning staff really went in there and cleaned around the poop.
No, don't touch that.
And he stopped and looked at me for a second. He was like, what are you trying to say? I said, nothing, sir. It's just, this is definitely an inconvenience. It's just amazing that the cleaning staff will go in there and clean the entire room and leave this one
leave the log
very...
Now, wait a minute.
Hold on. Let me finish. I'm saying this to the guests that I said leave this one seemingly fresh turd in the middle of your bathtub. Like, this seems like something personal. Go get me your manager. I said, I figured you were done talking to a real nigga. I figured that.
Now, what if I'll play devil's advocate for a second?
How do you do that?
Yo, what if
you
got a disgruntled cleaning lady and she goes in there? Now, let's say I don't know how long that particular guest is been there, right? So let's play for a second. Let's say he's been there for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Cleaning staff been coming in doing their job just fine, but this nigga be leaving shit just nasty. You know what I mean? Like, me personally, when I go to a hotel, I know they have a cleaning staff, but I'm not finna make no extra work for them. I'm not finna leave my trash because I know they're gonna pick it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially when I can throw the shit away. So what if you got somebody that's just not cleaning up their shit? You got a disgruntled worker that's like, oh yeah, fuck this shit. So they go in, clean everything. I mean, shit is there's no dust. It's spotless. But right when they was finna leave, they was like, man, this nigga, he gonna fuck all this shit up. And they go take a shit in his tub. That could happen.
Now I've seen stranger.
That can happen.
I can't even say stranger. I've seen more petty fucked up things done by the hospitality staff. But first of all, you had to see the log. That took some talent. I don't think there's a person in this world that has ever went to take a shit.
Some talent?
Yes, because as a person that I'm pretty sure takes shits, I've never seen someone just drop one log. Like there weren't no spare pieces of shit surrounding it.
It wasn't no little trinkets
No
nowhere.
trinkets, nothing. You want no pee around there. It was just one log. Like this was something that was carefully thought out. Like I'm gonna get this room free. You know what I mean?
Yo, I bet you that was his wife. I bet you that was her, son.
Like this was a log from a very high protein diet. You know,
A lot of grains.
They
in this
enjoy
particular
corn,
one.
and that was a thought out piece of shit, bro. Like seriously. So I look at it, and I'm not talking about looking at the shit. I'm talking about looking at the situation, and we're not. Why would a housekeeping staff do that?
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. I agree with you. I don't think a housekeeping staff is not finna fuck up their job doing that.
Exactly. Especially
not doing that. Maybe taking some shit, but not doing that.
You could trace all of that. You could trace who was in the
exactly.
room cleaning, so you could trace it back, no problem.
So what happened when you went to go get your manager?
I don't know. He took it over from there.
Do you think he got a free room?
I'm not going to speak on that. I don't think he did. But I'm not all the way certain that he didn't.
This is why I'm a firm believer that certain people are equipped to do or they're put here to do certain things.
Yeah.
Your manager, for instance. I'm pretty sure he's still your manager, right?
The one that helped him, no.
Did he get fired for that particular situation?
No, he transferred.
Okay. If I was your manager in that situation, I would have gotten fired.
Why?
And I would have gotten fired, not because I would have cussed him out or nothing like that, but because I would have talked so much shit and laughed so hard, it would have been deemed as completely unprofessional.
Very much
They
so.
would have had me in HR like, look, we get it, but we got to let you go. And the sad part is, I probably would have been laughing in HR. I couldn't be. This is what I mean by certain people are equipped for certain things. Your manager was equipped to take care of that situation because Kev couldn't do it.
Los couldn't do it.
I
started having a legit conversation with him. It was like, how? Just
you have to.
Absurd.
At that point, it's no. If you bring me a piece of shit on your phone, and you in this situation, at that point, it's no longer customer employee. We two regular niggas right now. We're talking about
we having a conversation on the block at this point.
That goes out the window. So yeah,
so that was just tales from the hotel side. So not much didn't happen this week.
No.
There were definitely some people that got picked up on some sexual misconduct charges, but
did you? When I'm 2018, and this is me. You my right hand. I'm not doing unless it's a big breaking. Type story,
but that's why I was just about to say that. Like,
conduct.
if this is something that is going to really shock the airwaves, that we know we can't get away.
They say Obama been caught touching people in the pussy.
Oh, that's
I'm talking about.
That's a whole episode.
Exactly.
I'm starting episode 20 minutes crying.
Right.
You were the one. You had the juice.
My cinnamon apple.
My cinnamon apple. He lied. He's a liar.
And y'all worship.
Oh
man. Did you hear? I know this is completely off. This is off tangent. But did you hear what Dr. Phil, I guess, is in trouble for?
Yeah, I heard he been giving drugs to the druggies that be coming on the show.
Yeah, I heard a story that it was an alcoholic going on the show. It's a show about alcohol, obviously. And he was like, he didn't have any drinks before he got on the plane. When he got off the plane, he was sober. He says when he got to the studio, he said went to his dressing room or his change room, whatever the fuck they got, green room, whatever. It's a bottle of vodka sitting there. Now, me personally, if I'm a producer, if you're working on this particular show, on this particular episode, the last thing you want to have is some fucking liquor around. So had liquor around. This guy appears on that episode wasted, like to where they had to help him walk wasted. Drank the bottle of vodka. First of all, how do you put down a bottle of anything?
When you're an alcoholic, anything's possible. Them niggas could drink bleach.
That's crazy. He said that a woman, or not a woman, but somebody also in his camp gave him a Xanax to calm him down.
Oh, wow.
So not only is he wasted, he got his Xanax too, and supposedly Dr. Phil is attached to all this. I thought that I can. I won't say I can understand it because I can't. I can see it, but it's still crazy to me.
Very.
Because Dr. Phil was supposed to be that one. It's like, we know you white niggas be doing some off-brand shit, but Dr. Phil, he might be all right.
Bro, Oprah stamped you.
Right.
You were good.
Yeah.
You got to. He got a spin off a talk show.
You
need to move cool the rest of your career. But you know what though? This isn't gonna affect Dr. Phil because you see with these white entertainers, with these white, talk show hosts, with these white anything in that industry, they don't necessarily suffer the consequences of the everyday person.
Right.
And by the everyday person, I do mean a minority that's in the same position. He'll bounce back. Real quick. First of all, he's going to deny it for a while. Then he's going to apologize. That's going to be that.
Yeah. He might not even apologize. I can see Dr. Phil just denying it cold-heartedly.
And just leaving it at that.
Yeah, just leaving it at that. I don't think it's going to mess up his bread or nothing like that. I just wanted to bring it up because it was interesting. Because when I heard that, I was like, what? Dr. Phil? When I first heard Dr. Phil was in trouble, if you will, I was like, oh, shit, Dr. Phil got touched somebody. That's my first thought. When they said this,
that's the first thought with any entertainer.
When they said this, I was like, oh, he didn't touch nobody. But damn.
Oh, thank God he got a drunk. Cool, right? Thank goodness.
But yeah, I thought that's foul, man. If you're doing something, a service for people, if you will, and you're trying to help them overcome their vices, you don't do shit like that,
right?
You know what I mean?
Especially for ratings.
Yeah, because you're gonna get them regardless. You don't even need to do this. You're gonna get them regardless.
But I mean, what's the difference between what Dr. Phil did and what reality TV shows do?
The difference is reality TV.
Allegedly. Let's say allegedly. I'm not trying to get sued.
The difference is, I agree with you. The difference is the people that are on reality TV, they know. They sign up for this shit. It's not, I think we probably have those one-off stories where they try to, the creators or whomever try to throw in a loophole and people are like, whoa, you know what I mean? But for the most part, they know everything that's going to transpire.
Right.
This guy got off the plane thinking he's about to get some help. I got to commend him because a lot of people wouldn't even, I'm not going to Dr. Phil so he can fucking help me, put my problems on TV. He was like, you know what? All right, fuck it,
Let's get it done, right.
Just to get drunk? To me, shit.
He could have stayed home for this.
Right, he could have stayed home. I mean, he didn't probably have to pay for shit getting down there, but still could have stayed home.
What if we find out that Maury was fabricating some of the DNA tests?
I would be surprised. But at the same time, I'll be like, I knew it. I knew it.
I remember there was one Maury episode where there was twins and the dude was the father of one of them and wasn't the father of the other one.
I've seen stuff like that.
I was like, how?
Something with like genetics.
So what? So she got it in with dude, and then like 20 minutes later got it in with another dude?
Yeah, it was something with genetics. It was something with genetics. Because that wasn't the first time I've seen stuff like that. But they say it's something with genetics where you can be pregnant by two men, and it'd be give me one baby, but pregnant by two men.
And you know how Maury be setting it up. You are the father. In the case of Dylan, you are not.
You are not
the father. I was like, first of all, Maury got bars because his sequencing with revealing the fathers. His transition. You are not. Right. I'm like, oh, kill him.
Did you see I tweeted Cardi B?
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought that was hilarious.
I saw that.
I thought that was hilarious.
You think she gonna answer? First of all, if we get Cardi B and Offset on the Maury show,
no, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. If I'm Cardi B, even if I saw that and I'm Cardi B, and the situation sucks, I'm gonna laugh it off and go about it. It's funny. I know we're bouncing around. Fuck it. Who cares?
Ain't much happened this week.
Right. On the way here, that Bruno Mars song came on. Mm-hmm. There was a couple things with this. First of all, Cardi B really might be that female.
She might be her.
She might really be that female. And the reason being is because this is Bruno Mars song. First of all, the visuals are dope.
Super dope.
The visuals
What an ode to an amazing show.
Yeah, the visuals are dope. But what's crazy is we said that Bruno Mars album came out the beginning of 2017.
Which album?
24
Karat Magic, right.
Beginning of 2017. He remixes a song, and now it's starting to get buzz like it's a new fucking song.
Well, it's like what Fumi said.
Bruno got it.
He got the juice.
He got that.
He's him. But it's like what Fumi said. He can put out an album and eat off of that for 2 years before even putting out another one. He might eat off of this album a little more than what he ate off the other albums because
I believe it.
The one he did with the DJ, he had the record. Which one was it? Which was the big record that really changed Bruno's whole career?
The first record?
The first record.
Wasn't that Catch a Grenade for you track?
No, not Catch a Grenade. It was after. It was one he did with, it was before 24 Karat Magic.
Are you talking about like when he first came out?
No. It was a record that he did that was on a DJ's album, Uptown Funk. Exactly.
You're right.
You ain't heard of the Uptown Funk in a while, but that Uptown Funk went for easily a year and a half.
It went for a minute.
You know what I'm saying? And then, but that was just off of Uptown Funk. Then 24 Karat Magic comes out. He eats off of 24 Karat Magic for the year.
Yeah.
And then he drops the That's What I Like record. He eats off of it, not as much as 24 Karat Magic, but then here we are going into year 2, and he's about to drop another single. So now we're seeing that this album has gems.
Yeah.
So this could be his Thriller.
That album was solid. Through and through. Like 24 Karat Magic. That's just a feel good. So you cannot. We've been in the car and been talking about some shit,
depressing shit, right?
And that come on, and we be like, "Hey, yo, nigga, I got a little G." Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Be on it.
Yeah, I think Bruno got it. Only issue I have with Bruno is his face looked plastic to me.
I used to say that before.
His face looked plastic to me, and I don't think he may have had surgery. He may have not. That's the only gripe. Other than that, he seems solid. He may be a cokehead every now and again.
You know, I was gonna say that too. I was like, I got mad respect for Bruno and for his career. But I remember when I he was in, I think it was the Grenade video, matter of fact. And I'm looking at the video, I'm like, he do some kind of drug. So then when he got pinched for the coke, I'm like, I knew he did.
All that goddamn bouncing around and energy.
And now he got more energy than then. So.
Right. Speaking of coke, what the fuck wrong with Chris Brown? He need to leave us the fuck alone.
What do you do now?
He dropping 2 more songs. Nigga,
right.
You gave us.
He put out a 106 song album.
And then said, I'm going to give you guys more. No, leave us alone. Even Jesus took a break.
Here's the thing.
God rested on the 7th day. Didn't they say that? Leave us alone.
Here's the thing with Chris. You either want him in the studio making music or outside making shit happen.
I agree. I want him in
Let's keep him in the studio.
I'm not hating on his, but I'm not hating on him wanting to put out work. You know what I mean? But it's like, damn, bro, I still ain't finished digesting the goddamn album. Leave us alone. Can we take a break? I need some me time. That's how I feel with this.
Yo, again,
I want him to get back in movies.
We got a lot. Wait, I'm sorry. What now?
I want Chris Brown to get back in movies because I think he has a potential to do movies. Not all movies. Didn't say all movies, but he has a potential to do movies because he's talented.
He's talented. I think he held his shit down for Stomp the Yard. Takers, not so much.
No, I wouldn't mind, but I can see the potential in Takers. I can see how they wanted to use his athleticism in movies. He could be if he didn't do a lot of shit that he's done, he probably could be that low tier action star.
If he goes through like legit acting classes, but that's him having to take a break from movies.
Exactly.
He has to get his from music.
He has to get his shit together. That's what I'm saying. I just see the potential in that. I think
he's
dope.
one of those. He's one of those breathy actors. So we gotta make sure we.
Yeah, I think he'll be dope in like dance movies. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Give him a solid dance movie and let him do it. I think stuff like that would be dope.
He did this. He didn't do too bad in this Christmas. Okay, I can see. I can see.
I'm just saying there's potential there. Right. Yes, he got a lot of shit to work on. We all do, but I just see the potential in that.
Right.
And it's a different type of money. We can agree on that.
Oh yeah.
And it might keep his ass somewhat out of trouble because you get around a different type of person with acting. You know what I mean? You get around people that are more in depth, they've been around. They might be able to help him out some. That's all.
You think the set gonna want? He on the next Bond film and just nothing but bloods on set.
Oh hell no! Because stuff like that would change if he was to really try to transition in that. Somebody that we could look up to, have to pull him aside. Like I get it, them.
Everybody been trying to pull him aside.
No, I'm saying for acting, he'll get a different wave of people trying to help him out.
Okay, I see what you mean.
But he would have to dumb all that shit down. He'll have to cut that shit out. You know what I mean? Them boys cool, but nigga, they not finna be on set for what?
Right.
They ain't.
No, I feel that.
Everybody on this set is contributing somehow. If they ain't on this set, get them fuck out of here.
They contributing to the craft services, getting them plates in. Like yo, this was a steamed fish. Hey, blood, this shit right. Man, we've just been rambling. Let's get into one of the stories, okay. At least that we had set up. I mean, we got time for both.
You got somewhere to be. I ain't got nowhere to be.
I'm where I'm supposed to be at. Hip hop conversation.
Love those conversations.
Of course. And it really kind of feeds into a point that we made a few episodes ago, but just to get the story out. So Atlantic is in hot water right now. Mm-hmm. They've been releasing albums that the artists have called albums as mixtapes or as collaborations and stuff like that. So they wouldn't have to pay the producers what they'd have to pay them on royalties. It's just like a one-time payment or something, or no payment at all.
How would they do that? If you're the artist and you're saying this is an album, especially in the social media age, how does how can they double back and say no? It's a mixtape. Like, how is that even possible?
I don't know how. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know how it's possible, but apparently they've been pulling it off. I mean, you look at Nothing Was the Same. Not Nothing Was the Same. Was it Nothing Was the Same? That was before Thank Me Later, right? No. Nothing Was the Same was the Baby in the Sky. What was the first? So Far Gone.
Yeah.
So Far Gone got released like an album, but it was a mixtape.
Right.
So I think that's the direction that they're taking with it. Like, they're gonna push it like an album, they're gonna put it out like it's an album, but we're gonna tell you that it's a mixtape. One of the most recent ones, TM88, he's the one that produced XO Tour Life. Mm-hmm. He said he ain't seen a check. That was one of the biggest songs of 2017.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine having a Billboard Top 10 single for the entire 2017 and you ain't got a check?
I couldn't imagine having my name attached to something that's played a intricate part in hip-hop culture and not see $1 from it.
Oh, yeah. Again, man, 2017, we got a lot of trash music, but we got a shit ton of good music. Yeah. So imagine, because a lot of that music came from Atlantic. A lot of those people didn't get their check, bruh.
That's crazy to me. See, I think the producers need to have some type of union.
Oh, yeah.
Because they get screwed a lot. And me personally, I tried my hand as a youth, teenager, early teenagers. I tried my hand in music. I'm awful as a rapper. I think I'd be great or cool as a producer, but I wouldn't want to be a producer in today's day and age. You're not getting paid. You can make a song, make an album, and don't see shit from it. I've been shocked
crazy
everybody.
because before, the producer was one of the main people you knew was going to get that back.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, I mean, we may give it, we will pay you for producing it, but as far as royalties and shit like that, it's a mixtape. There is no royalties. So that introduces a new question before I get to the question I wanted to get to. How do you control royalties? Like, how do you sell a mixtape? If we're saying this is a mixtape and you're getting paid by the streams, how are you able to recoup anything from this quote mixtape and no one else is getting paid? Like, and then you got the artist who's getting paid off of touring. So do they know that? Like, are they aware of these kind of deals, or do the artists get something off of streaming? Like, it's confusing.
I'm pretty sure the artist probably gets something off of streaming, and it's probably one of those things where it's like the label could tell the artist what's going on, and the artist gotta either get with it or don't get nothing.
Right.
So the artist is like, well, yeah, I want you to get your money too, but I'm gonna make sure I get mine.
I'm gonna get my money before anybody else.
Exactly. My biggest question with this is, who are the labels telling that this is a mixtape? Like, who are they going to the streaming sites and like, no, this is a mixtape? You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like,
this working?
how is that set up? And then once it's set up that way, if the producers aren't seeing royalties, how are you justifying the artist seeing royalties? How are you justifying the label seeing royalties? How are you justifying distribution is a little different, but how are you justifying all these royalties being handed out, but the producer's just getting a little $500 check off rip?
The only way I can see them doing that is if when the song is being made or the project is being created, they're like, we're going to give you this set amount of dollars. Mm-hmm. Or they come up, hey, Los, we want to give you $30K to do this album. Cool. Okay, cool. You do the album. And then once it's done, we push it as a mixtape. We're going to get that $30K back from... I can only see it happening that way. Because there's no way in I can think that a producer would be like, yeah, okay, we're just going to take this money. I don't need no royalties. No, they're going to be like, no.
All right, cool.
So they must not know. They must not know. How did this story break? Like, who told people about this?
Well, it's been, like, gradually breaking over Atlantic's basically re-rise back into the one of the top labels in the industry. So it's been coming out. But then you even look at, this honestly makes you reference the Lil Yachty Joe Budden interview.
Yeah.
It's like, so do you not know you're in the 360? Who looked at your paperwork? Like, no, I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of these producers, though talented, because everything, like Muda said when he was here, because everything is so quick, the trends change, they're probably moving with the trends and they're not making sure that paperwork is correct. Because there ain't no way in hell I'm going to produce a potential Billboard Top 10 record and you're not going to pay me like I produced a Billboard Top 10 record. There's no way.
You know what I'm thinking is happening, man? Because if we look at the industry right now, the industry is young, right? So we got artists. I don't know how old is Lil Boat. He ain't 25, is he?
Nah, I think he's like 20. 21, 22 maybe.
Yeah. So what I'm
Let's ask Google.
What I'm thinking is between the artists and between these producers, you're getting these young guys who are trying to get that bag, and not only do they not know how to conduct proper business, and
21.
Shit, he's young. Not only do they not know how to conduct proper business and make sure that paperwork and everything is straight, they're probably not looking at it, and they probably don't even have the funds to hire somebody just yet to look at all that shit. Yachty probably didn't have nobody that knew what they was talking about look at his deal. Mm-hmm. That whole Joe Budden shit, that he probably didn't know he was in a 360. But he couldn't have revealed that on camera, obviously.
Right.
I'm thinking a lot of that shit is taking place. A lot of the people just don't have the money to hire somebody to look at their paperwork. They don't know how to do it. They're probably too lazy to take the time out to know how to do it. If I know I don't have the money to hire a lawyer, I'm gonna at least try to learn everything I can about the contracts and inner workings of shit, so I don't get screwed. Because you have situations like this.
I think with everything coming out about Atlantic, I think we're gonna start seeing a lot more of these younger millennial artists, to be like, wait, hold on, let me actually have somebody look at my paperwork. I got the bread now.
Right. This is why this stuff like this is crazy to me, because it's like, I want to know, is Atlantic the only people that's been doing this?
Oh, I'm pretty sure this goes back.
I want to know that.
You see how they used to fuck people out of records back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm. True. Then I'm noticing this is going to change the dynamic going forward. Yeah, we may still get trash music, but these artists, the business is maybe straight. I can see, I would not be surprised if over the course of time we get a lot of shitty music, but somehow these artists are getting paid, and they're not getting paid because of their music. They're getting, because of music, but they're getting paid because they took care of their business.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if Yachty came out later opposed to now, after all this shit blows over, he probably end up with more money because of shit like this. People see it, and they learn from it.
And Yachty had really good business last year. You know what I mean? He landing Target, landing Sprite. Like, he had really good business outside of music last year. The deal with Nautica, like, he was seeing some checks.
Yeah.
But it really makes you wonder, what were your out? Well, first of all, we knew the album flopped, so we're not worried about the album. Uh-huh. But your singles, your streaming, what was your numbers looking like with that? Like, what kind of checks were you getting from that? And do you think you were getting what you were supposed to from that?
I don't think he was, man, because if you're in a 360 deal or something very similar to that, yeah, you was in Target and Sprite and all that stuff, but your labels, they're getting a piece of that.
They're getting all that, right? Very true.
You know what I mean?
Ooh,
so he may not even get really what he was supposed to. Yachty
Which is so grimy.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And it's fucked up because it's happening to a lot of young black kids like this. They don't fucking know. They're trying to get their moms a house. They don't know.
Kind of unrelated, but dealing with fucked up contracts. Somebody said TLC was screaming, "I don't want no scrubs," and they was broke.
Bro. But that goes to what we're saying, though. You got a young minority group that don't know
better from their block, right?
They just know that they don't like the situation they're in. They're passionate about something. They want to use that passion to get out that situation, and they're probably jumping the gun. You know what I mean? Because I can't front if somebody was to bring me a contract in here and it said, "Look, we're gonna pay you $3 million over the next 4 years." Yeah, me personally, I'm gonna probably read it, but at the same time, be like, man, I don't want to wait too long.
Right? If this deal leave the table, I'm gonna be super mad. But you know what? Again, this is going back to the Jerry Seinfeld show. Kevin Hart said on there, my first signing check was for $250,000. He said, I made it. I'm rich. He was on buy my dad a house, and buy
that's what you think,
stuff like that. And then you realize, like, this actually wasn't a great deal, and I'm right back to being broke. The money will run out.
The money's
so
gone.
I got to start getting better contracts.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these artists are going to really dive into their contracts and find ways to get out of it. Like, I feel like Chris Brown, and he even just talked about it, Heartbreak on a Full Moon is double platinum because of the amount of tracks that was on it. So I'm pretty sure that's probably why he gave us the double album, so it can count as multiple albums, so you can get out of his deal. Like, it's some scandalous shit going on in the music industry. You know what?
As you said that would make sense, because they was bringing up when they were talking about when it first came out that he was going to put out an album with so many tracks. I was listening to another podcast. It's a hip hop podcast, and they're more in depth with the business. And they were saying that I guess with streaming, you really only get paid for 10 songs. You know what I mean? So you can put an album out that got 30 songs, you're only going to get paid 10 of that.
Right.
So, and knowing that, I was like, why would this nigga put out a song with so many, or an album with so many songs if you don't get paid for 10? You're not going to
see all of that.
But since you said it could be counted as 2 albums, that makes a little bit more sense.
I'm curious to what happens with at least hip hop. Because it seemed like there's more people getting dicked in hip hop nowadays than any other genre.
You know, I do agree with you on that, but we also have to pay attention to the fact that we don't pay attention to them other genres.
True.
So we don't really know.
Well, I feel like even though we don't pay attention to it, we would at least hear something about it. Because with this Atlantic thing going on, and this ain't no shots at Atlantic, but compared to everyone else, they're one of the little boys. They're one of the small joints. But yet, this is conversation that's been going on for a while.
Right, and I agree with you on that, but you also have to realize that it's conversation because we're seeing it on social media, but we follow people.
And in regular media as well.
And in regular media, but majority of it we're going to see on social media.
Sure.
And with that, the people that we're following are like-minded individuals, so they're attached to hip hop, if you will. So that's why we're seeing it. Now, if you got a social media platform, or you're following a whole bunch of people that may listen to rock, and something like that's going on, you probably hear from them because that's what you're seeing. That's all I'm saying. I'm thinking we're attached to more people within hip hop, so that's why we're seeing it more than any other genre.
I agree. I see what you mean. Something else I wanted to talk about, and I'm pretty sure you're amped to talk about this as well. First of all, did you see Dave's 2 new stand-up specials?
Let's get it. Yeah. First of all, it's just hilarious.
First of all, your hands are ashy to the bottom. Did y'all hear that?
No, that's just they're not ashy.
Yeah, you had that Birdman sandpaper.
They're real moist. You got to rub them fast like you're trying to keep warm. So cold. But yeah. I thought they were funny. I thought they were witty. One thing I like about Dave Chappelle, one thing I like about a good comedian is they're not afraid to talk about shit that people be scared to talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're not afraid to do it how they want to do it. The biggest, I know we're going to dive completely into it, but the biggest takeaway I got out of that entire the special was that he said he never feels bad for what he says. He stands by that.
Right.
I thought that was dope because first of all, you're not going to get a lot of people admit that on camera.
Oh yeah, and then when the audio leaks, it's all apologies.
Right. Secondly, like you have some balls to say that, and in 2018, that's how I am. That sentence is how my mood is for 2018. So that was the biggest takeaway for me in that entire thing. What you think about it?
I agree. I thought the specials were hilarious. I liked the first one a little more than the second one.
I agree.
But where I appreciated the second one is that it was a legit heart-to-heart conversation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he was in there dropping gems. You know,
it was just him, a stool, and like 30, 40 people.
Exactly, like 40 people. And so that's why I appreciated that one. The jokes, man, they were just great. Like they hit. It was making light of a lot of dark situations, which is why this controversy that's going on, to me, it's definitely displaying the sensitivity that he was talking about in these specials. But before we get into that, I'm going to go out on the limb and say that Dave Chappelle is if not the greatest stand-up comedian that we've seen.
I agree.
And the only reason I say that is because he gave us 4 stand-up specials in 1 year.
I agree with you.
There are comedians that can't get an hour special out in 2 years. You know what I mean? But he gave us 4. And the checkbook is looking lovely. He can literally go away for another 4 or 5 years, and we will have so much content.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Off of 1 year.
And this is just a special. This is not including the other little shit.
And
hosting.
He did the Def Jam shit.
Yeah. Shit, we didn't. You know what? Shout out to Dave Chappelle because we didn't even. We was giving shout outs to was it the last episode, or was it the episode before that? One of the episodes we was talking about people big ups for the year that they had.
That was our last episode.
Last episode, we didn't mention Dave Chappelle. He had a phenomenal year.
He had a phenomenal year. He definitely did. I think it's because his year wasn't publicized.
Yeah, it wasn't, and it wasn't like the traditional
like
type
year,
thing either.
His year lived on Netflix.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because of where we're going with streaming, I don't see how it wouldn't qualify. So we probably didn't see much conversation about it. But getting into the controversy, so of course he's in hot water again because of the comments he made about transgender people and the comments he made about Louis C.K.'s accuser. I can't remember exactly what he said about the transgender, but with Louis C.K., he basically said that the woman that accused him of doing that, that she's you call her fragile?
Brittle.
There you
she
go.
Had a brittle spirit.
He said she had a brittle spirit, and he really said a lot of, that is true. Situations dealing with that. Now, granted, let me go on record by saying what Louis C.K. did like I've said on the last episode, he's a bitch ass nigga for that.
Right.
He's a sick ass nigga at that, and everything he lost, he deserves to lose. But if we're at a place that comedians who are supposed to be the biggest, freedom of speech practitioners that we see in the industry, if we're getting to the point where we're going to try to censor comedians for doing what they do best, which is speaking the truth and making it comedy, then what's the point of having freedom of speech? It seems like you can only speak against what certain people are doing.
Right.
But if you go against what the status quo was big, then it's an issue.
Freedom of speech is cool until they offend you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's basically the gist of how shit's been going. I agree with you just about with everything you said. With the transgender thing, he said a lot of jokes about transgender. But every time he said a joke, he made it apparent that he didn't dislike transgender.
He even said they deserve to live the life that they want to live.
Right. He had a lot of big ups with the transgender as well. One thing that irritates me about people is you can't scream, we want to be just like everybody else. And then when something is happening to you that happens to everybody else, you have an issue with it.
Right.
You can't scream you want to be just like everybody. Everybody gets joked about. Mm-hmm. Whether, man, female, kid, black, white, no matter what. So you're mad.
Racist parents.
Right. So you're mad because he had a couple of transgender jokes? Then they're jokes.
But here's what I want to know. Who determines what's off limits when it comes down to shit like that? Now, like, I can understand if you go out on a hate speech and you're like, I can't stand the LGBT community, and, saying some Roy Moore type shit. Mm-hmm. And, just having this whole hate-filled speech, I think Hazel Lee, she was like, all gays need to die and all black people look like monkeys. That's hate speech.
Right.
You can't and you shouldn't bounce back from something like that. This is a stand-up comedian doing what comedians do, and that's being cultural commentators. So why does it matter what the joke was if it was all in like Dave Chappelle said, it was all a joke. It was all in fun and games. And he even said in the stand-up, do I have a problem with transgenders? Absolutely not. And like you said, he bigged them up. So why is it that we're in such a sensitive time that you could joke about white people all day. Mm-hmm. You could joke about black people all day, or at least as a black comedian. Mm-hmm. You could joke about black people all day. You could joke about Mexicans if you want to. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you get to the government-protected issues, the government-protected civil rights issues, equal right issues, now you're going too far. Like
honestly, I don't know why everybody's sensitive. They just are. My thing is I don't know why they're sensitive. My thing is, how do we get to this point? Mm. You know what I mean? Like, what was the transitional period that made us get to the point where niggas is really sensitive off of everything?
I'm gonna be honest. When we were fighting for our equality as black people, mm-hmm. that's when we started to, like I said in the beginning of this episode, that's when we started to put fear into the majority.
Right.
And then everyone else made it an equal rights thing. Mm-hmm. But now that it's gone from equal rights to you just need not say anything about me, that definitely applies to a lot of people, but I don't see how it applies to comedians. I don't see how it applies to people who are making light of a dark situation.
Right.
And just trying to bring comedy and laughter to the world. He recognizes the struggle. He recognizes what they're going through. That doesn't make them immune to jokes. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think it depends on the person too. I think it depends on the person, because if I can't sit here and say that I believe if a gay comedian, like a flat out gay comedian, made a joke about a transgender, it'll be this much of an issue.
Oh, not at all. There would be no issue. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of gay comedians that make jokes about their community.
Now, if any trans or gay people agree with that statement, then you would also have to agree that if a gay comedian can make jokes about transgenders and it'd be cool, then they can't make a joke about blacks. They can't make a joke about they can't make a joke about anything else, because that would be contradictory.
But see, and then that's exactly what I'm talking about. Where is the cutoff? Because if a gay comedian makes a joke about a straight man or a straight woman, or a heterosexual man, heterosexual woman, whatever, can they technically be, offended? Can they cause a big uproar and get, all the media behind them? Now, I don't want this to be mistaken as an all lives matter type thing right now, but I'm talking about from the issue of fairness. And with that, I bring up Bill Burr. Bill Burr is probably one of my favorite white comedians out there. No one is safe with Bill Burr. He's like one of the only comedians I've heard make black jokes, and it didn't feel racist.
I've heard a few black jokes where it didn't feel racist, and I laugh like, oh, shit.
I laugh because I'm like, he has a point. You know what I mean? So I look at situations like that to where I look at it as comedy. He's not trying to offend. He's not trying to stir some shit up. He's just trying to have fun. He talks about white people just as much as he talks about black people as a white guy.
Right.
So if we're in this sensitive place, can people start just calling out anything from here on out? Like if a black comedian says something about black people, can we be offended? What's the cutoff? What's the rule?
I get what you're saying. And the sad part is there isn't no rule. People are trying to make up rules as they go.
As they go, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shit, especially in the comedian space, like you're trying to tell this man what kind of art he can put out.
Right.
That it doesn't work that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't agree with none of the flack he's getting for this shit, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's jokes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if you went to any of those Dave Chappelle shows, that means you have to be familiar with his work. Me personally, I'm not finna go see a brand new comedian in his show. I may try to find free ways to invest in this comedian before I go. So with that in mind, I have to assume that everybody at his shows are familiar with his work.
Right.
So that means you're familiar with him being controversial in the past.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? He did a whole fucking show and he was in complete whiteface. It wasn't an issue then, but now it's an issue
today. Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's backwards to me. You know what I mean? It wasn't an issue when he was a black, blind KKK leader, but an issue because he made the joke saying transgenders said they didn't need a dick. So, take it. I don't need it. That shit was hilarious when he did that. Like that's an issue. That's ass backwards to me.
It is. It is.
Ass
like
backwards.
I've heard people compare it to, because obviously there's been a lot of black people that's been standing up for Dave. People have been trying to compare it to Michael Richards' rant calling the black dudes a nigger, and then he was saying, "Oh, well, that was just me lashing back with jokes." Like, no, that was a racist rant.
Right. Right.
Dave didn't get on stage and be like, "You're a tranny.
Right.
You're a tranny." He
didn't get on stage. "You're a tranny. I hate you." He didn't say trannies should die. He didn't say nothing of the sort.
But you know what? Even with that, I was watching Michael Shea Matters, which is on Netflix as well. I want to say this came out like 2 years ago, and he made a transsexual joke. He was talking about like, why can't I call you tranny? Yeah. He said tranny a bunch of times, and he said the transsexual said back to him, he was like, I'm just adding a Y at the end. What does that matter? And he said, well, that's like me calling you Blackie, and he was like, good move. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a joke.
Right.
I can only imagine if that stand up came out 2 years later, which would be, last year.
He probably wouldn't have a career.
He wouldn't have a career. He wouldn't be the head writer of SNL right now.
Yeah.
So it's weird that in those 2 years, the sensitivity has gone to new heights.
Right. It's gone to new heights, but these people, this is why this shit is all fake. It's all a facade.
Hell yeah.
Because people are upset when transgender or gay jokes come about. But yeah, you put this motherfucker in office who says shit all the time, but you're not.
Oh, and you make all the excuses
right,
for him.
You're making excuses, not campaigning to get this man out of office, but you're mad at Dave Chappelle for making a joke.
That's another thing for 2018. I think I'm done talking about Trump. It's exhausting.
Oh yeah, I went off on him on Twitter earlier today. Yeah, I did.
I be at him when I be trying to go.
Me
off
too.
on
I add him. I definitely do. The Louis C.K. thing. Although I don't have no feelings to that. I feel for the victims, but he made a very good point. The woman came about talking about, Louis C.K. was jerking off while he was on the phone. He was like, hang up the fucking phone. That's when he said you gotta have a real brittle spirit if you didn't want to hang up the phone and you have an issue. The way he broke it down, he was like, you have a real brittle spirit if this bothers you and you're trying to get in Hollywood when you could have simply just hung up the phone. Now, granted, what he did was foul. You know what I mean? I don't want to be talking to nobody and they popping themselves off while I'm on the phone with them. But I can also hang up the fucking phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're hearing some shit on inappropriate going on, hang up the fucking phone.
I can't remember who the accuser was, but she was on. She may have been one of Louis C.K.'s people. I can't remember. If y'all watching or listening, say something in the comments and catch us up. But one of them was doing an interview, and she was kind of like laughing and joking with the reporter, with the person that was interviewing her. And I thought, I'm like, if this is something that
it's serious to you,
it's so serious. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing so many interviews? Why isn't your intentions to somehow get this man locked up or to defame this person and kind of end his career? You're making jokes on the news
because they're trying to find their way to get the bag. They're trying.
You really think it's the bag?
I have to. I have to, because you pull
not all of them though.
Not all of them. Not all of them. I'm talking about this particular
the ones making
case.
light of it.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
And the reason being is because, like you said, they're up there joking and stuff like that. If it's serious, you're not up there joking.
Right.
You're trying to get this. You're trying to have
barely
some type
be able to
of
hold it together.
Right. You're trying to have some type of justice for yourself. But that leads me to believe that you felt that this was also a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very minute type of situation that you feel like you can make light of it, or you can make jokes about it. You know what I mean? If this was something like rape, he raped me or something like that, you're not going to be on there joking.
At all.
You're not. You know what I mean? But
there's literally nothing funny about the situation.
Beating off while he's on the phone and you're laughing about. So obviously it must not be that serious to you.
At least to you, right.
You know what I mean? And if that is the case, then I can only believe that the reason she brought this out is because you're trying to get money. And me and you are talking about something that's not that serious. I'm not finna get on the show and talk about it too. It ain't that serious. You know what I mean? I think, I agree with Dave. Her spirit brittle. I do. I can see so far. Well, not so far. I can tell this year somebody's going to go off on me because I said some shit that they didn't like.
Oh, that's every year for me.
No, I'm talking about like it's going to be like I'm not the type of person that lie or make up shit to talk shit about somebody else. It can be some real shit.
Well, welcome to 2018,
I'm welcoming it. Like come on. Like if I say something to somebody and they truly feel like what I was saying was inaccurate and it was hurtful, by all means, educate me. Mm-hmm. If I'm saying something that is actually truthful, if it actually makes some form of sense, and you have an issue with it and you just being sensitive, go eat your dick.
Well, 2018 is going to be a very colorful year. Here's what it sounds like.
It's going to be a very interesting year. What else did you feel about this? Did you like the special?
Loved it.
Okay.
I love both of them. Like I said, I like the first one more than I like the second one, but for what the second one was, I loved it.
Yeah. Did you see the little 1 minute video? I don't know even how old that video is of Cat Williams saying what happened with the whole Dave Chappelle thing. He was doing an interview for Vlad TV. Cat was doing an interview for Vlad TV, and he was like, he knew something was up when the stuff came about of Dave Chappelle being crazy and being on drugs. He was like, so this man that has a farm or a ranch or whatever in fucking Ohio, you know, he doesn't do nothing to nobody. He keeps to himself. You trying to push me to believe that he's crazy, that he's on drugs? And he was saying that with the whole Chappelle shit. I guess in his contract, Chappelle was supposed to make or get half of whatever was made. It made too much. It made $500 million, and they only wanted to give him 50. So that's when he was like, "No, fuck y'all." And they was like, "Well, you can take this money, or before you get home, we gonna have shit out, basically saying you crazy." And sure as shit, that's what happened. You know what I mean? I can't blame Dave. I'm supposed to get 250 of these things. You trying to give me 50 because I made too much for you guys?
Exactly. I was too successful.
Right. You're out. I'm too successful, so you're gonna basically punish me for it?
Ultimately,
no,
yeah.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
It's going to be an interesting year, bro.
Yeah.
And I look forward to everything that's coming. Well, I think we put in enough conversation. Let the people know where they can find you at.
_ Hollywood Kev on Twitter. _ Hollywood Kev on Instagram. Hollywood. Do I have underscore? No, I don't have underscore. Hollywood Kev with a 3 on Snapchat. Hey, get some merch, man.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all playing games.
Step the merch game up, man.
Yeah.
At Big Los UTC on Twitter. Big Los IG on IG. Y'all can also snap your boy. Make sure you follow at the Noize Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, follow Beat Network on Twitter. I'm sorry, Beat _ Network on Twitter, Beat Network on Instagram, and you can go ahead and like the Beat Network page, facebook.com/BeatNetwork1. This was a really good show, and actually we're testing some new waters. We got a camera in the building, so if you're watching, that's what's happening. I'm sorry if we let you down with our appearance, but it's whatever. It could be some motherfuckers like, well,
you're right.
is that what's behind the voice?
I'm like, damn.
Like, you saw us on the cover. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.